going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and that's right, the Deck Mastery Series Season 1, Episode 2 is back. Juicy, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. I've been playing this deck all week. I played about 70 battles or so with it, and my win rate is even at 55%. I'm 39 and 32. Struggled against some matchups with it. Did well against other matchups with it. And I know that from the comments, from my tweets, from everything, a lot of people are joining us kind of in this series. And at first we were talking about, okay, maybe we should go ahead and switch decks. We were talking about maybe a graveyard deck next. But then we got on a call and I was just like, man, I don't know, man. I feel like I want to stick with this deck a little bit longer. So then you had the idea of just having seasons to the Deck Mastery series where we do one deck for, who knows, maybe it's 3 videos, maybe it's 5, but whatever. Not going to be super long, but just until we kind of master all the matchups and give my viewers a little bit longer to practice the deck. By the way, guys, in case you missed Deck Mastery, Episode 1 is where we really introduced, Juicy introduced me to this deck, and that's the only deck I've been playing again. So, Juicy, I think this format works, right? We're definitely open to your feedback as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it's gonna go away from our original idea of helping people like, you know, add multiple decks to their arsenal, but it's gonna be more towards mastering the deck and, you know, getting really nitty gritty and take each and every matchup and be able to play this deck like a pro.
Exactly, and I just feel like I need more than a week. You know, I need to touch base with you. I struggled against Golem, especially. And not Xbow, but Icebow especially as well. And then I had some matchups that were kind of like a 50-50. A lot of my viewers struggle with PEKKA, maybe because I played PEKKA for a whole year, but I didn't struggle as much with PEKKA matchups. But basically, that was kind of my biggest struggle. Some Hog matchups were kind of a 50-50 depending on the deck, like typical, like classic Hog Rider. I actually didn't face much Royal Hog, unfortunately, because I feel like I would have been great against that, right? So those are the kind of matchups. I want to go over Golem and PEKKA, especially in Icebow, in today's video. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people DM me on Twitter and also came to my Twitch chat. Shout out to all the people that did that. And, you know, those are the 2 decks that they struggled with the most. So I think that's definitely worth going over.
Awesome, man. Well, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. By the way, guys, follow JuicyJ on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube as well. All of that will be linked below. He's also coaching, but man, after our first video, I guess you were flooded with a million requests to coach, right?
Yeah, I had so many people requesting for coaching, buying like 5 lessons at a time. It was crazy.
Oh, my word. All right, so supply and demand have to up those prices, man.
Yeah.
All right, so want to start with Golem?
All right, yeah.
The last replay I shared?
All right, got it. I'm paused at the very beginning.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, play. So against this dude, battle run, GG's, man, GG's. I really struggled against Golem. This is a different one. This is a double dragon Golem with the skeleton dragons and the baby G. By the way, guys, we're going to go over some of my losses, one of my wins too, and then we're going to do some live matches, and I'm going to play against Juicy as well. But, you know, feel free to walk through like my decision-making, Juicy, and tell me all the things I did wrong.
Yeah, so I think the first mistake, which really cost you, is using the Prince to activate King Tower. I think I would have gone with a Musketeer to activate versus King Tower. Obviously, didn't know what win condition you had, but in that situation, cycling Musketeer is going to be a lot better than using your Prince. And it just happens to really hurt you because you're not going to have that Prince, which is your tank killer, to take care of this Golem. And he's probably going to get some early chip damage with that Golem right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with King Tower activated, it is pretty solid. Your bats are also really amazing. Something that maybe I would have done is gone with the Royal Delivery on top of the Skelly Dragons, because they're, you know, they did a lot of damage to that to Mega Knights.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have been a little bit more beneficial than the bats in that situation.
Okay.
Fortunately, your Mega Knight does hit that pesky Firecracker, so you didn't need to zap there actually, because since the Firecracker is at 1 HP, the tower can shoot it before the Firecracker gets a shot off.
Oh, I thought the Firecracker was still get a shot off. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, a little mistake like that isn't so detrimental, but when little mistakes you know, stack up upon each other, it will make a difference in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So since that was, oh, that's perfect actually. The Dark Prince only splashed one of them, so that was pretty nice. You get a lot of damage there.
Yeah, so far so good, but I shouldn't have used that Prince early on, but I'm feeling pretty good about the match, but I know I'm going to have my work cut out for me in double elixir time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Yeah,
think about that miner?
You're definitely down elixir. I think
I'm
the miner's
struggling
really
here.
good.
I'm like, oh shoot, I'm going to lose the tower.
Yeah, the miner was like the best thing that you could have done, I think, and as well as this Prince. Like overall, I didn't think you were going to defend this push. That looked really difficult.
Yeah, and at this point in the match, I'm feeling like really good, but
Yeah.
things break down right here.
Right here, you definitely use the Royal Delivery. Perfect.
I do, but it was late.
Yeah, and it also doesn't hit the Night Witch, so I think like this defense, you would have definitely successfully defended if the Royal Delivery was a little bit earlier. It hits the Night Witch, and then you can zap to kill all the Night Witch bats, and then you could have probably successfully defended, I'd say.
And then I tried to kite that Skeleton Dragon for what? You know, like I think I wasted 2 elixir basically there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
here, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you are in trouble for sure. You have to miner. I think like the #1 mistake, like when I'm coaching people, is they're always trying to protect the towers. Sometimes, you know, it's very hard to gauge the situation, but sometimes you just have to realize a tower is going to go down, and then, yeah, and then just focus on like tying it up, basically.
Yeah, and here I know it's over basically. I don't know. I really struggle. It wasn't just this matchup. Golem Clone I lost to a couple times. Easy 3 crown for my opponent. I don't know. Like I guess if let's just pretend it's a normal Golem deck, right? If they drop Golem in the back, I don't even know how much to pressure opposite lane. Like, do I go in with a minor wall breakers? Do I go in with just wall breakers, just minor opposite lane? Do I not do anything? Do I go Musketeer in the back mirroring the Golem? Like, what is the, in single elixir and in double elixir, what are the appropriate responses, assuming the elixir is even?
So before I answer that question, I'm going to say, I think it is feasible that you could have defended that last Golem push that took you out. The problem was that you played your Mega Knight and Royal Delivery too early. And they both landed on only the Golem, which, yeah, like the Golem actually itself, it has as the win condition in his deck, but really support troops are what killed you there.
Yeah.
So if you can Mega Knight and Royal Delivery and all those support troops, I would definitely suggest that. And then the Prince should be used to take out the Golem. So the Prince always taking out the Golem, and the Mega Knight and the Royal Delivery are going to be taking out the support troops. That is your goal with his deck defensively. Now to answer your question, when the Golem, if it's single elixir, usually I just send a lone wall breakers ops lane. I think is an appropriate response. If they don't have Barb Barrel or something, or some sort of small spell, sometimes Golem only has Tornado as their small spell, especially like a Golem clone players. They are going to go like either going to take a bunch of damage, or they're going to have to force a Tornado out from them. And that's really good for you. Like if you can force them to Tornado, they're not going to have that Tornado to use on offense, and that's what they want. They want to use that Tornado on offense to pull your Musketeer into their Golem push. And then, yeah, remember, this is all in single elixir. In double elixir, when you're pressuring ops lane, I would go with like a minor wall breakers and a minor bats, and basically adding that minor on top of the pressure. Okay. And in double elixir, or sorry, let's go back to single elixir. Defensively, after you've pressured, you just want to chill and wait and save up to 10 elixir, and then go with a Prince in the back, assuming that the Prince is going to not cross the river. If you think that the Prince is going to cross the river because you have enough elixir that you know you'd have to leak in order to make him stay on your side, then you go with a Musketeer in the back to start off, and then you play the Prince in the corner. So the Prince does not push the Musketeer if you both play it in the same spot in the back. So you play the Prince in the corner to defend. It's going to charge up and do a lot of damage to that Golem with the help of the Musketeer. And then in single elixir, you want to use the Royal Delivery to take care of the support troops and knock the back and damage them. And then hopefully your Prince and Musketeer can finish off that Golem and then help against the support troops. And in double elixir, the defense can be pretty similar. You know, you're pressuring with a little bit more elixir. You're playing the Musketeer in the back, the same lane as the Golem. You want to go Prince in the corner. That is your damage dealer for the Golem. And then in double elixir, that's when you're going to have enough elixir to go with a Mega Knight on the support troops. Not the Golem, but the support troops, because those are what are really going to kill you since you don't have a big spell in this deck. And then once... like basically the Mega Knight's like the first wave of like hurting the support troops, and like maybe say after the Night Witch gets damaged or they start playing more support troops, then you can go with a Royal Delivery, which is kind of like your secondary Mega Knight, and that can hopefully kill some of the support troops the Mega Knight damaged. clean up some bats and also damage any other support troops that they play to support the golem. And then also don't be afraid to use a zap if there's any bats left over from the Night Witch.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like sometimes having the timing correct on Night Witch, I find Night Witch tricky in general, you know? Even though I have plenty of responses, it just, I don't know, like between, I guess I just wait, do you delivery first and then zap the bats when she dies finally?
Yeah, I think that's something that I would probably do often.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, the next one, I'll play you with Golem. I'll use Golem and you can use this deck in, want to just do that now? That way we can kind of go matchup by matchup?
Sure, that sounds good. I'm requesting.
Right. So you're going to use the same?
Yeah, I got the Mega Knight. Yep.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let me just copy the Golem deck here. And we'll give it a whirl. Put it over there. All right. So here we go. Good luck.
Good luck, sir. Right. I probably won't talk a whole lot during the match.
Yeah,
and
sure,
then
sure.
We can like talk about it afterwards.
Now with this deck, the deck that you're playing, the Mega Knight deck, our deck, do you think that it is, do you think that's, how long do you wait before making the first play?
First play? I mean, sometimes if I'm just playing on ladder, I'll just go with the first play right away. It's not something that I'd usually like wait too long to do or anything.
Okay. Yeah, if I have wall breakers, I usually play them immediately.
Yeah, split wall breakers really good immediately, and then minor immediately, or even minor compared with bats is good. Prince so tanky, just tanking everything there.
Yeah. Don't. Okay. I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
So let's see.
So this is a pretty similar situation. Maybe I made a mistake. I don't have the Prince cycle.
Yeah.
Similar to what you did.
Yeah.
We'll see how I defend here.
And this is the tricky thing about the deck is that, like, one thing I kind of struggle with a little bit, right, is the... Come on, Firecracker. Get the job done here. There we go.
Yeah, she really is. That's going to hurt me.
Firecracker's so annoying. Oh! Muskie. Oh, no!
Ooh, Zap just is like a hair late.
So here we go. Double elixir time. He's got his delivery.
Indeed.
Delivery is such a lifesaver in this deck.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Crap. I ran out of ground troops. Alright. I don't know, Juicy. Think you got me.
Yeah,
I like how
so
you play a lot more Mega Knights than I do.
Yeah, so I think that's the kind of a key here that, I guess I didn't realize it until I started playing, but, like, just look how much pressure I have. It's almost like a beatdown deck when played like this, with the Mega Knight and the Prince combination. Yeah. And once I got up in Elixir, I just went Musketeer in back. I realized I was up in Elixir. You went with the Golem in the back, and then I just went Mega Knight in front of my Musketeer, followed by Prince. And as you can see, I'm taking out your Golem before it's even reaching my side of the map.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just kept my momentum, had finally a good miner under that Firecracker. And
All right.
Yeah, I kind of just overpowered you there, I'd say.
GG's. Let's move on to the Xbow here. Let's press play on this one against Royal Bandit in 3, 2, 1, go. And yeah, so I feel like that Golem, just to finish that one up here, I felt like the Golem, man, like that's the one thing that popped out at me. Is like you use Mega Knight a lot. I only use it when I think I can get like enter the arena value. We talked about that in the first video too, but I still had that habit of looking for the, like I want to drop him on the support troops and that's it, rather than just playing him in the lane, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take that away and kind of apply that to my own game. Oh, my bad. Are you watching the same one that I am against PEKKA?
No, you said Xbow.
Okay, I know. Okay, let me restart. I had the wrong guy. Had the wrong guy, not Royal Bandit. All right.
Okay,
it threw me off because
Xbow or
because of our replay. All right, 3, 2, 1, restart. 3, 2, 1.
We're doing Xbow or PEKKA?
Expo. I'll just cut this. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll forget. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so against Expo here. Actually, I'm not going to cut that because I want to share with my viewers about the Mega Knight that I wasn't playing enough. But going on the Expo here, Icebo, man, I really struggled with. Single elixir time was fine. Double elixir time, I had no idea how to handle the defensive Expos when they started to stack up.
So while we're waiting for things to heat up here, I'm just going to talk about like keys this matchup.
Yeah.
Musketeer is probably the #1 thing. Since they have Rocket instead of Fireball, getting Musketeer value is imperative to your success. So the #1 mistake here is he's getting that early activation.
Yeah.
And the early activation versus deck is going to make you really struggle basically the entire game to get damage with your miners especially. So once you kind of like start to realize what deck he's playing, since he's played, you know, like Ice Wizard and Tesla, I think especially even just the fact that you played Ice Wizard, you know, maybe you don't know it's Ice, but you do know he has Tornado. Most likely anyways, unless he's got a weird deck. But in that situation, then I wouldn't go with a miner onto an Ice Wizard like that, and maybe just send the miner like opposite lane for chip damage, or just even same lane for chip damage in the anti-NATO spot.
Yeah, that was definitely, looking back, because I watched this replay as well before I shared it, and I was like, yeah, that was like the glaring mistake I made. But I think the rest of the match is pretty clean, except for I just know what I could do, you know? So it's probably decision-making,
Yeah, so far you're playing well.
He didn't NATO that. I don't know why, and that was actually another mistake. Going in the obvious, could have just NATO'd it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so good Musketeer. Like I think playing there, Prince at the Bridge is definitely a really good option for defending those Expos. Similar to like playing a Giant at the Bridge, it has so much health and does so much damage. Taking out the Tesla like it's butter, and gets a charge off. So that was amazing.
So now we're crossing over. I'm just like, all right, well. But he starts to go defensive, and then I struggle.
So one thing is, the last 2 miners, you didn't play an anti-NATO spot. But if you play an anti-NATO spot, then you can basically prevent his King Tower from hitting your miner, which is going to be really important. So let's go and pause right here. Can you pause?
Sure.
All right, so yeah, before we start recording, I told you I played this matchup and won in CRL, and basically what you should do in this situation is once they defend the Expo, you have no big spell, right? The right thing to do in this situation is you want to Mega Knight back the same lane as the Expo, and basically just make a very large push. Obviously, you do have to watch out for the rocket value. So what I would do in this situation, I would just go Mega Knight back same lane as the Expo, and then I would go with a Prince behind it. And then you're basically with that push, like it's very hard to stop, as you can see, when I played it against you in the Golem matchup. It's a pretty big beatdown push that I don't think they're going to be able to stop it very easily. And it'll do 2 things, like you're going to pressure, make him use a lot of elixir, but you're also hopefully going to take out that Expo with that push. And then obviously if you do watch out for rocket value, they might even rocket the Mega Knight in the Prince. But when they do that, like you want to pressure opposite lane to prevent them from getting rocket value, as well as, if they do rocket that, then they'll be low on elixir to not like defend the opposite lane pressure with, say, like minor wall breakers or minor bats in a situation like this. Okay. So that's what I do.
Okay, so Mega Knight back, same lane, Prince, same lane. What about against 2.9? Same exact thing if they go with that defensive Expo?
2.9, it would be even better to do this because they don't have a rocket for the big push, and then you can just stack everything behind in the big push.
Okay.
Or not everything, but I would go like with also a Musketeer and double elixir behind the Mega Knights and the Prince with that beatdown push, and then you can go with a minor wall breakers or something opposite lane.
All right, let's press play again in 3, 2, 1, go. So I didn't do that. I went Mega Knight instead on the other lane, and then I don't even know what I was thinking here to get a little bit of damage off that Xbow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good idea in theory, but just isn't going to work out because of the fact that, yeah, I mean, yeah, just the defensive Xbow is just so powerful, and that's why we have to go Mega Knight and back in a situation like that. I applaud your efforts defensively here.
Thank you.
Like, you're doing your best you can, but once that, like, 2 Xbows are down, and yeah, it's just it's hard to watch. Like, I hate Xbow.
Yeah, this is the first big lock that I give up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take like 1,000 damage plus 1,500 damage here, but I'm not out of it yet. But then I'm just like, oh crap, like I'm not sure how I should be responding to all this stuff, you know? Like, most importantly, like, should I be saving minor for chip or saving minor for to put on the Xbows, the defensive ones?
So, main things here for that was the wall breaker's not good, and then also your musketeer. You could have done bats to counter the knights and the musketeer, and that kind of gets you down elixir. And then as for your question, I think your miners should always be going for chip, because that's your only source of damage. So if you are going to want to win this matchup, you do have to get more chip than your opponent.
What do you think about that Mega Knight?
Yeah, I mean, you're being... I think it's just because the fact that you didn't know, like, specifically what the best answer was. But now that you know, you can go Mega Knight and back once you focus the defensive Expo.
You're
that's
right,
going to change this game.
Yeah, I'm like right now I'm kind of struggling to figure out, okay, what is going to work here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Mega Knight Bridge, like, you have the right idea. It's just you didn't know that in the back would be a little bit better.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah.
That Expo, same thing.
The question with the miner is, when you go with the Mega Knight back, you can then, once the Mega Knight reaches the bridge and you're going with that counter push, then you can go miner for chip damage, playing it always in the on the corner so that they can't hit it with the King Tower. And with your Mega Knight tanking the tower, you're going to be able to get a lot of chip damage with miner.
Got you. So even Expos like this, I should Mega Knight and back on the left-hand side?
Yeah, I would say so.
And you can see this push is definitely like formidable, but he's just able to rocket cycle me out.
Yes, it is.
And at this point, I'm just like, okay, I need to just go all in. That's what I decided to do, but I knew it was kind of a fool's errand at this point.
Yeah, so it was so close, but
yeah.
Once you get into like triple elixir time, yeah, you definitely be Mega Knight and back. You're gonna have a lot more elixirs, so you can go like Mega Knight back, Prince behind. You can pressure ops lane, minor wall breakers, and you can even cycle back to like more princes and stuff. And just basically, you want to make a gigantic push on both sides if possible to just pressure your opponent. And unless he's just like a god at Expo, I think they're gonna have a hard time on not making any mistakes versus those pushes. And hopefully, you can break through on one of the sides at the very least.
All right, cool, man. That's a hugely helpful having just knowing to cycle Mega Knight and Prince in the back. So I want to cover the PEKKA Bridge spam matchup, and then I'll play a live match, and we'll kind of end the video there.
That sounds good.
All right, going against Royal Bandit this time in 3, 2, 1, play. This one I actually win, but I'm still looking for things I could have done differently. This is the Ram Rider Magic Archer Ewiz version of PEKKA Bridge spam, but both matchups I didn't really struggle with a ton, but I'm still looking to optimize, kind of like that Expo, like learning exactly what to do in certain situations. Absolutely.
So yeah, the reason why this matchup isn't as bad as some people think it is when played correctly, you're basically getting a gigantic amount of value by going with Mega Knight Prince pushes. Like, you want to defend with Mega Knight, then always play Prince behind. And even though, let's say they P.E.K.K.A a Mega Knight in defense, the Prince should be able to take out that P.E.K.K.A to an extreme low amount of health, or even kill it while it's on their side of the map.
Yeah, so this situation right here, I get a very healthy P.E.K.K.A coming down. I just go with... Then I'm like, crap, this stupid Magic Archer, so I have to miner it. Is that cool?
Yeah, I think the only thing I would have done there is I would have bats first. I like to just basically bats instantly, like right when something's crossing the bridge, any kind of ground troop. And that's
force a spell, force a response of some sort, and then...
Yeah, and or even just they do damage so quickly. So like the sooner you place them, the more value they're gonna get. And then yeah, overall that defense was really good.
Yeah, I screwed this up a little bit here. I pushed the Ram Rider into the tower, but it wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah,
Not
honestly,
ideal
that
though.
defense was pretty good. He has to deal with this Prince as well.
Yeah. So Prince does get, I think, like one stab. Yeah. And then, so I haven't done a ton of tower damage. He has the damage lead at this point, but
So,
yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna say, it's kind of a more advanced strategy, but let's say you go with a zap on that Ewiz right before he's about to stun the Prince. There's a possibility that that Prince could charge straight into the Ewiz, or at least get closer before getting stunned, and then you could have fully countered that Ewiz in that way.
So here's a, I think that was a mistake, right? Just why did I play that? I'm not sure why I played the muskie right into the poison, the weak side tower.
I mean, I don't think it's a gigantic mistake. I think the main mistake is that once he poisons, you have to realize that Muskie's gonna be dead. So there's no point in playing the Prince a little bit higher in a situation like that, because the Prince, the Muskie's gonna die anyway. So you don't need the Prince to try and protect her. In that situation, I would just go, like I would have gone with my Prince all the way in the back, and then you could have Mega Knighted on top of the P.E.K.K.A as well as the Magic Archer, and that would have been really good. And then as well, you would have had a Prince Mega Knight to counter push, which is kind of the counter push that you're looking for.
And here I decided not to go in because I just knew, I felt like he had a good read on me at this point, so I decided to kind of reload.
Yeah, that was a really good decision. So here's kind of the same thing. You know your Musketeer's going to die anyways, so I don't think it's worth it to really like try and protect her with a Mega Knight in that situation.
Okay.
You do make a good counter push out of it, and you bait the zap the wall breakers, and it's not going to matter that the Mega Knight was bad, because look at those bats getting insane value. That's kind of what I'm talking about, like playing the bats directly at the bridge right away in that situation like that. He doesn't really know if he can really respond to that effectively, so he kind of just lets the P.E.K.K.A go and get taken out by all those bats.
It feels like I'm winning this. I mean, I won this match. It was a close. I purposely showed a closer, one. But it didn't seem like I did it in the right way, because he was like, you've had problems with a few of the things that I've done in this matchup. End up connecting there with the wall breakers. How would you have played this one differently? This matchup.
Yeah, so generally in this matchup, like I said towards the beginning, you always want to use your Prince defensively against Ram Riders, Battle Rams, even like Bandits, or your Mega Knight defensively. And then your goal would be to, well, ultimately your goal is to use your Mega Knights onto that Ram Rider or the Battle Ram, and then go with a Prince behind it to make a very good counter push. And then going with Miner on the tower, or Miner onto like an Ewiz or Magic Archer to help that counter push. And also going with wall breakers. I think that was a really good decision, going with wall breakers on those big pushes. While everything's tanking, you're getting those wall breakers to be able to connect. And also if you bait a zapping, go with bats like you did. So like overall, like you made a lot of good decisions. I just don't think you ever had that really good counter push. And then I think you just made a little small mistakes in protecting Musketeers that were getting poisoned out already.
Yeah, so you're saying I should. It's interesting then. All three of these matchups, for the most part, it's all about like stacking a big single lane push rather than like getting too cute and trying to sneak in wall breakers under the Mega Knight or whatever. Like so you are not afraid. Obviously, you showed it against me too, of going Mega Knight Prince a lot, same lane.
Yeah, I think that's like the difference maker for people that are struggling with matchups like this. They're playing it like a wall breaker ship deck and with Miner, and that's like the difference with this deck. Because you don't have a big spell, sometimes Miner chip is not like, with a Miner poison deck, that's your win condition. But with this deck, it's a more of a hybrid deck that you can go with Miner wall breakers in certain matchups where that works well. But in other matchups like this, it's not going to work that well, because they have a lot of answers for the Miner and for the wall breaker, and they also can make very formidable pushes. And what you would do in this situation is you want to counter push often to make those big pushes with your Mega Knight Prince, as well as if you get up an Elixir, you can Musketeer in the back, get value out of your Musketeer, and make a big push if you're up enough Elixir, like I did versus you in the Mega Knight versus Golem deck.
Yes. So when you defend with like a Mega Knight, right? No matter what you're defending against, like Royal Hogs, whatever, Ram Rider, doesn't matter. Do you usually let that Mega Knight kind of in single elixir time, assuming like the elixir is kind of equal? Do you generally try to go same lane with the? Obviously it's my bad. Sorry, get distracted. Do you generally support with like bats or wall breakers, or try to hit opposite lane with like a Miner wall breakers to do a dual lane push, or do you delay and then drop bats? Like, how do you decide how to support that surviving healthy Mega Knight, or do you wait to see what they do first?
Yeah, so in the scenario where it's single elixir and you're pretty even, I would just generally obviously depends on the deck. Like sometimes playing Prince behind that Mega Knight is the right play if you know that their deck doesn't counter Prince very well, or if they don't have a lot of elixir, or if they just don't have the right cards in hand to deal with a push like that. Sometimes even in single elixir, I will go with a Prince behind the Mega Knight, especially if the Mega Knight is like still healthy from the defense, because it's just an amazing push. Like the Mega Knight has the jumping ability while the Prince is the charging ability. As
You love it. You love the Mega Knight Prince. All right.
Yeah, as well as the fact that the
I'm gonna
Mega Knight
search
has
while
the
you talk.
splash
Okay.
damage. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, keep going. Yeah, I totally noted, Juicy. Totally noted to go same lane.
I mean, honestly, think about it like a double Prince push. You have the Dark Prince and the Prince, where the Dark Prince charges with splash. The Prince charges with a high damage hit. It's very similar in that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going against you with Bomber. I'm assuming it's a Golem deck. So what would I do here?
If you can, I would bats the Bomber.
No bats. So we're just gonna deliver it.
Yeah, that's a beautiful play.
So.
And sorry, I think I can ramble a lot. I'm pretty passionate.
No. It's all good, man. I'm the king of rambles. So what do you think about those wall breakers?
I think playing them off the lane would probably be a little bit better, because since basically since the Musketeer is a little bit damaged, playing off the lane can kind of force them to, basically not have to use the same card to take both of them out, I guess.
Okay, a little push there.
I like the back play and a really nice zap. That's an amazing amount of damage.
Thank you. Should I do a delivery here?
It's up to you.
Too late. I'm gonna go no.
I would just ignore these. That's what I would do. I think that was a good decision to ignore both sides. And look at that. It's gonna pay off.
Okay, so I'm just gonna muskie here. So he's playing Golem. I'm worried about double elixir time. So tell me like what I should do when he plays his first Golem. You already told me this, but should I support this?
If with a miner, maybe. And
I don't have it.
Yeah, so I would just defend until double elixir. Once he goes with a Golem, your goal would be to Musketeer and back versus the Golem. And then Prince charge up would be the main thing. Really nice zap. I think that was really creative.
So should I miner wall breakers or do nothing here?
I would do nothing. I would just focus on the defense. Since you already have a tower down.
Should I Mega Knight back?
Yeah, I don't think you have Musketeer or Prince.
No.
So you gotta move Mega Knight back, I think.
So Muskie here?
Yeah, Muskie here does an amazing amount of damage, and then I'd look for some royal delivery value if he supports it.
You got it. He's gonna draw Skellies, I think. Skelly Dragon.
Okay, he's gonna lightning. So I would cycle to your Prince or just roll delivery onto the Bomber.
I don't know what he's doing with this Bomber, so okay, we'll delivery here.
Perfect.
Get another Prince. Might have been overcommitment. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll
matter that much.
Yeah, I think you got this. You just gotta defend for another 30 seconds. Good bats.
Gonna go Mega Knight in the back again.
Yeah, you just have to stall for another 30 seconds.
Problem is he has lightning.
Yeah. It's true. Okay, good idea with the Musketeer. He is getting lightning. Okay, good roll delivery. He might take tower, so you might have to go with some pressure on him.
Yeah, he's gonna take tower here because stupid Golem. See, this is like, okay, so Mega Knight back left?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do. So the main reason he took the tower is because of the overprint with the Prince, like you said yourself. If you would have had Prince, you probably could have had a chance to defend that because of the fact that Prince really is your tank killer. Okay, this is good though. Prince taking everything out.
Come on, man. Muskie's
getting taken out.
Shoot.
You got zap or delivery for all these bats, hopefully.
Yeah, I got delivery coming. Alright.
Okay.
I really screwed up there. Panic
okay,
mode.
take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just Mega Knight back.
Okay.
Prince charge up behind. And then Musketeer to the very left side so you can't play something in the middle. When you can. Yep, now roll delivery. Okay, that's good. That's the best you could do since he was up about 8 elixir.
Yeah, he's got me though, man. He's got me. So I don't even know what to do
again.
here.
You gotta go Mega Knight again. You're finally even elixir. And hopefully you can get your first successful defense right now.
Yeah.
Like
we're setting up.
Musketeer high.
Oh my god.
That might get you.
Yeah, I think it might. I think it will.
That was an unexpected play, for sure.
I can't get away from the tower. Too much damage.
Yeah, once it becomes...
Dude.
What?
Yeah, I can't beat Golem, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
once it becomes... once it becomes in a 1-1 situation, you lose your ability to counter push, and you lose your ability to...
Yeah,
like,
let's watch the
really
replay.
defend
Let's
it.
watch the replay as much as it stings.
Yeah, losing sucks, but...
Oops, 1 sec, yeah. Because,
The
like,
one
I think
thing-
things
the
got
one
out of
thing I'll-
control, obviously. Go ahead.
Bro, okay.
What?
The one thing I'll say is...
Go ahead, say it. It's okay. I'm not cutting anything, so...
Yeah, the one thing I'll say is, like, obviously sucks to lose, and a lot of people really struggle with losses, including me. Like, I get so mad at this game
3,
sometimes.
2, 1, play. Okay.
And yeah, I just think that the main thing here is, like, we're gonna try and learn from this, right?
We are going to try to learn, yes. All right. So, this is watching double time, because I don't want to... 3, 2, 1, double, because I don't want to bore my viewers too much here.
Okay, what time are you at?
I'm at 240, 239, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Okay.
So here, I mean, it seems like that very last Golem push with like 29 seconds left is where I should have stopped defending at some point, right? And went opposite lane. And that's where everything started to unravel. So we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, so like I said, I think a common mistake that you make is over defense. And that's basically what it costs you in this matchup. Okay. Honestly, like, up until this point, like, you've played perfectly.
Okay.
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
No, I'm not talking. I'm just observing.
Okay.
So he is this lightning for the first time. And this is where... Yeah, so far still alright.
Yeah, so far still alright.
Maybe over defended against those skeletons, like that whatchamacallit was unnecessary. The delivery.
Okay, so let's pause.
Okay.
So first things first, roll delivery zap takes out Skelly Drags. That is something that I probably would have done there to keep your Mega Knight healthy. And then the second thing is you did over defend with the Prince, and that's the main reason why you lost this tower. Because you don't have the Prince to charge up behind your King Tower to take out that Golem. The Mega Knight is just not a tank killer. It's more about the splash damage that it does and the drop value that it gets. But yeah, let's go ahead and play in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, well, I'm at 9 seconds. Where are you right now?
Oh.
Where are you?
I'm like 20.
Okay, just go down to 9.
Okay,
I unpaused a little bit early. All right, because I thought you said when you used the Prince, so I was trying to fast forward there. But either way, so go. And, okay, so I used that Prince there. Now I'm in kind of a dicey situation.
Like, at this point, it's just tough.
This is where I started being like, oh no, shoot. I screwed this up.
Yeah, at this point, like we talked about, it's really tough because you can pressure opposite lane, and they have an advantage to be able to just throw everything in one lane. I think the Musketeer towards the middle here, you have to be aware of the change in the map, that he has the advantage of placing stuff in the middle, pick out the Musketeer, and that's definitely not what you want. And then here is just the massive overcommitment, and you can see he's up about like 8 elixir, and all he has to do is arrows this, and now he's just going to go with a Golem in front when he already has the Night Witch up. So, you know, only about up 4 elixir though, to be honest, because of those arrows they had to play. But
well, I think that like we said, I mean, I pretty much lost this one when I over defended, right?
Yeah, I think you over defended twice. In single elixir, when you lost your first tower, you over defended, so you didn't have Prince cycle, and then you over defended with the Bat's delivery that you played when the Golem push was already dead. Yeah,
womp womp. All right, well, hey, definitely, obviously, still have to work with Golem, work against Golem. But I think that I'm glad I played that match though. In all sincerity, shout out to Designer 14. I see what he did there. But yeah, I think that it's just like, I'm glad we did it because it touches on another weakness of mine, and that is over defending, right? Like, I think that sometimes I have the wherewithal to be like, okay, stop, and then that's obviously like a difference maker in my favor when I just let the tower go and then they go too aggressive on the offense. But this time it was opposite, unfortunately. So, hey man, a lot of takeaways. I'm going to practice these matchups specifically going into next week. And I feel like next session, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm almost maybe do one more episode on this deck and kind of tie everything back up, and then from there we'll pick a new deck at the end of the next episode.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like the idea of like introducing the deck, then going over the matchups that you guys struggled with, and then in the third episode, I think we can basically show your progress as well as
yeah, maybe I'll play it all live or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe go over
yeah.
one more story, or maybe we can watch you play it a little bit too. We just have like a mixed bag in the next episode. All right, Juicy. Well, hey, thank you so much again for coming on. I hope you guys enjoy this series as much as we clearly do. This is one of my favorite things that I've had going on the channel for quite a long time. So really excited to have you on, Juicy. And perfect time to go ahead and follow JuicyJ is, again, YouTube, Twitch. Everything will be in the show notes below, along with the player stats and profile. You can update my player stats and profile on Stats Royale and see my progress on this deck. I'm currently 39 and 32. So you guys can follow along and see if I can improve my win rate with this deck. And that's going to do it. Huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, take care, guys.